I want to start a band. I want to do rock music, but how do I do it? I'm a rapper. I'm not a singer.
Right.
I don't scream. I don't do those things, but I still want to make it happen.
Right.
And bands like Linkin Park or POD, those bands really made me like, oh, they rap, but they still do rock music.
Right. Welcome to Oracle Unveiled. Can we know your name, please?
Navaguchi.
Navaguchi.
Stage name.
Yeah, okay, that's
Yeah.
We're with that. Can you tell us what you do?
I do multiple things. I have many hats, right? A rapper, rock star, actor, director, father,
Okay.
stepfather at one point, but
Okay. Absolutely.
things happen, but
Absolutely. No, we love that though, because that's the thing about artists. I feel like we wear so many like hats,
many hats,
like too many. Like I'm here interviewing you, but I also rap. Sometimes I sing. It might sound bad, but I do sing.
Right.
So I do love that about artists. But I have a question for you though. Why do you create?
Man, it started at a young age, man. I grew up reading comic books and Spider-Man, X-Men, and I was like, man, this is amazing, and I started drawing in the beginning, as early as first grade, second grade, I want to draw Spider-Man, I want to draw Hulk, and, I just always had that creativity in me. I always knew that since the beginning, so.
Okay. Can you tell me something you are most excited for this year with your creation, like the things you're working on and you're excited about it?
Oh yeah, definitely, man. So I have my rock band Terms of Use, and we just dropped our EP like last November, and we dropped the music video last October. So now we're trying to transition to shows and tours and everything. So.
Y'all just did a very successful show last year. How did that come about?
So basically what we did was just a listening party.
Okay.
We didn't perform live, but the turnout was crazy because it was like elbow to elbow.
Yes,
I was like, what the... if we could do this without even performing, imagine when we do perform.
Actually.
I'm like, what the heck? Like, this is a lot of people.
Yes.
Like, what the heck?
Yeah, I was looking at one of the videos that y'all posted and I was like, I thought y'all were performing. You had me fooled.
Right?
I thought y'all were performing.
Yeah,
I didn't know
yeah.
y'all were just listening, just putting on the tunes and just like letting the people like see what they're in for. So that was pretty amazing to watch. Now, before you got into the rock band, you primarily did rap. What was that transition like for you? Was it hard? Was it easy? Was it something you've always wanted to do? Like, how did that happen?
So, it's honestly one of the hardest things I've ever done. Because the rap stuff, it's so in and out. It's so easy to do rap. It's just, you're in the studio, the beat's sometimes already made, so you're in the studio for an hour and then you're out, So the rock stuff, I started back in 2018, believe it or not. Because I just released the rock stuff and people are like, one day you just decided to do rock? Like, nah, I've been on this journey for about like 6-7 years. It's been a long journey and it's been hard, really hard. Because I've had a lot of no's before I got a lot of yeses. And so my guitarist slash, one of my good friends, Kyle, he was by my side the whole time. So he was really the one who just stuck by me for the last like 7 years and just stuck by me. And, there's a lot of different puzzle pieces you got to like fit into it. And just... I've met, I'm 31 now. I've met a lot of musicians, a lot of drummers, guitarists, singers. I've met everything now. So I was always like, hey, let's collab. Hey, let's do something. And I got a lot of no's, or I got a lot of, yes, let's work. But when the time came, like nothing came into fruition. It was always just like a, just nothing came out of it. So
makes sense. I mean, a lot of people in the creative space, for lack of better words, are kind of flaky. So I can understand.
Yeah, people in general flaky.
Right.
So.
Right. I get that. So in the spirit of that, I am curious. Has there ever been a time you did not feel welcome in a space where people didn't make you feel welcome in like the creative space?
In terms of like the artists I've met in the past, it's always been like a barrier sometimes. Like I'm a rapper, right? This is before I had my rock band going on, and before we took it off with this last album, I had a lot of just, you just feel this, not necessarily tension, but the wall. You feel the wall in between, like I'm on this side, they're on that side. And it's a sense of, the same thing I was saying earlier, like, let's work, right? Or let's do this and that. And sometimes these other bands around here, they're not looking for a rapper. They're looking for a singer.
Right.
So right now, my job is really tough, or my job was tough before, trying to pitch myself to these other bands. And these bands were always like, oh, we're not looking for that. We're not looking for a rapper. Or, a lot of them will say, I don't have time, or this and that going on. And it was kind of hurtful just because I got a lot of no's in the past.
Gotcha.
But now I have a full band. So it's like, eventually I got to that point.
Yeah, it was worth it.
It was worth it though. Like, honestly, what I have now is like, oh my gosh, I've been waiting for this moment my whole life.
Right. It's just so much easier and it flows so much more better, basically.
Yeah. What this one guy told me one time is you'll get 100 no's before you get that one yes.
Yes. And
so I've been through a lot of no's during this process.
And the one yes is basically just changing everything.
Exactly.
Right now. Yeah, exactly. I could understand that. Could you tell me about a time you lost faith in your work or your passion? What pushed you to that point and how did you get out of it?
Man, like I said again earlier, the no's, it hurt. Honestly, it hurt. I'm just like, what am I doing wrong? Am I not good enough? Am I not? What is it? The rap? Is it what do you want me to do? Sing? What do I have to do to win you over? Right. To these other bands? Because, I grew up listening to like, heavy metal and screamo and bands like that and rap at the same time, and it's just, always what I wanted to do as a teenager. Like, I want to start a band. I want to do rock music, but how do I do it? I'm a rapper. I'm not a singer.
Right.
I don't scream. I don't do those things, but, I still want to make it happen,
right.
And bands like Linkin Park or POD, those bands really made me like, oh, they rap, but they still do rock music.
Right.
Well, I want to do that too.
Right.
What do I have to do to win these guys over? But right now, with the way music is, with bands and stuff, new metal has come back. People are reinvesting into Deftones and Linkin Park and all those old bands now because of Instagram and Reels and TikTok. It's keeping it alive, bro. I'm just like, man, those were back in my day.
Right.
Now these like youngins are like, oh, Linkin Park, oh, Deftones, oh, these bands. And I'm like, wow, like it's really made a comeback.
Right. And that kind of gives you a segue to where you're like, I could insert myself back into this space.
Back into this space. So
that makes a whole lot
So
of
right
sense.
now I'm literally at the right time, right moment situation for me.
Okay. That sounds good. I mean, I am really, really looking forward to see what you do with, this opportunity that you've gotten. And like with the, the space and like the tools and resources you have in your fingertips. So I'm really looking forward to see what all you do with that. I am curious again, do you think your art should comfort people or challenge them?
That's a good question. A lot of our songs on our newest EP that we dropped last November came with a lot of pain, a lot of suffering. Literally, I lost one of my best friends last October, literally Halloween night. He took his own life.
Damn.
He came for our music video premiere, and our EP premiere was about to happen. He took his own life, and that hurt me so bad. This is literally the coldest winter I've ever had.
Right.
Not just like literally, but like emotionally, spiritually. Like I lost one of my best friends.
Right.
And I knew he would have been there for our longevity and journey and everything, but he was always there for me. And just feeling that pain is just like, it's just like crazy. It's just even last year, you know, we lost somebody close to us, and it's just been one of those journeys to where it's like they're still with us throughout the journey that we're gonna continue to go on.
Damn, that's really tough, man. Like, so like you're saying you incorporated the way that felt into the music to where it should be more comforting to the people that listen to it, and they could understand it would be better.
Yeah, man. So I lost a few good guys with suicide and mental illness, and just I even myself, I go through it. We all go through it.
Right.
And, you know, with the music that we're putting out as of recently, and what we're going to try to do in the future, is just to focus on not just, you know, men's mental health, but mental health in general.
Right.
Because it's a thing that's not really talked about too much, and not really a lot of mainstream covers too much. But in our music, you know, I grew up listening to a lot of Eminem too. He focused on a lot of, like, you know, personal issues and personal battles.
Right.
Versus, you know, the mainstream, you know, hip hop or rap or whatever you want to call it. They don't, you know, they glamorize in the, you know, money and everything else, but, you know, the intellectual side and the everyday life and the side that people don't really see, we want to cover as well.
That makes a lot of sense, man. And it's, you know, it's sometimes we get so lost in the muck of like the life of, like, just, you know, surface level stuff all the time.
Exactly.
And it's, I
face
mean,
value.
Yeah, it's easier to do that though, to be honest. Like, I mean, facing your feelings, facing your demons, it's a terrifying thing, which is why, you know, we get lost in the surface level connections and surface level talks. It's not necessarily because we don't want to, you know, be real, but sometimes it takes a band like yours, people like you, to make that connection not look as impossible as we make it in our mind. Because some of us are like, damn, if I really have to sit down and think about this feeling or sit with these demons, it's gonna consume me.
Exactly.
So, but, you know, a band like yours, it kind of makes it easier to be like, oh, okay, these are people that are going through the exact same thing that I'm going through. Listening to them makes me feel like somebody else understands what I'm going through, even if I can't find someone in my immediate environment or in my home that understands, somebody else somewhere does. And that sometimes that might not be all you need, but it's something compared to having nothing, but nobody to listen to, nobody to talk to, or feel like nobody understands where you're coming from or going. You know? So that things like what your band is doing, it's really inspiring, and it's something that you know, like I said, I'm really looking forward to seeing more from Terms of Use. That's
exactly, yeah. Terms of Use with the Z.
Yes, really looking forward to that. What emotion do you think is the hardest for you to portray in music? Like pain, love, you know, anger. Like, what emotion is it for you that's the hardest to bring to life?
The hardest, like I said again, just well, the music that we make is more emotional. It's not so much of the glamour and just, hey, look at me, I'm the shit. It's more of the, hey, this is what I go through on a day-to-day basis. That, I feel like people would respect it more because it's real. It touches, we want to make music that touch base with the people, not just the, hey, look at me, I'm an artist, I'm a this and that. And, you know, we want to get closer to the crowd, you know, instead of the crowd being like, oh, look at them, they got it all figured out. I don't always have it all figured out.
Right.
Sometimes I'm wrong. Sometimes I still need to learn. Sometimes I'm always learning. I'm 31 and I'm still learning.
Right.
You know? At 18, you think, oh, I graduated high school, I think I know it all. Nah, there's a lot to learn.
Right.
And one of my teachers from high school told me this. You're still going to learn throughout your 20s, your 30s, your 40s, your 50s, and onward. It's just, endless learning.
Right.
About yourself, about others, about the world, about everything.
That kind of feels like that's what all of human experience is, just learning. I mean, it makes me wonder, like, what are we learning for, though? Like, like we're just learning to learn? But, I mean, I get it's like, you're learning till the day you die.
Right,
so it's
right.
like, what? But why? You know?
Exactly.
It don't make too much sense. At the same time, it does, because what you learn helps you be a better person. You know, it helps you be a better being.
Right.
But, you know, it's... one would hope that you know at some point you would know everything there is to know,
exactly.
or at least specific to you. But you know, it doesn't always pan out that way. Like you will see a 9-year-old talking about, oh, I wish I was a better father to you. I'm learning how to be a better dad. You're 90, bro. Like what are we talking? So that's, you know, that whole just human life being an entire learning experience is just, it's such a unique topic that you know at some point, like something we probably should like dig into and be like, what's with that, you know, because there's got to be a cap to it. Like is there ever a point of like enlightenment where you're like, I arrived, or is it just like an endless journey of just that, you know? But I have another question. Your art has a lot to do with vulnerability. How do you balance that with privacy? Because you obviously cannot tell everybody everything about you. So how do you balance being vulnerable to being private?
So in our music, we kind of try to be general about things and try to be like, how can we relate to everybody? Instead of just, hey, my specific story or my specific what I went through. And I feel like it's not fair to everybody.
Right.
But we all have this one thing in common. We go through shit.
Right.
And it's not like everybody's life is perfect. My life is not perfect.
Absolutely.
Even though some people say like, oh man, you got this going on. You got the band going on. You got the movie stuff going on. You're perfect. I'm like, no. You got it all wrong, brother. You know, maybe what I present to the table is like, you know, cool. Yeah. I still go through the same shit you do, brother.
Right.
But to the fact that they only see that I put the good stuff out on social media, they think that my life is perfect.
Yeah.
But it's not.
Yeah, it is almost superficial the way social media makes us live.
Exactly.
Because, you know, there is no room to showcase the downs.
Exactly.
Everybody only wants to showcase the highs,
exactly.
the good, and what makes them look better.
Exactly.
And then, like, say you go to someone's page, all you see is just bought a new car, just bought a new house, just did this, just did that. It doesn't tell you how much suffering took into buying the house, how much, you know,
you gotta save money.
Yeah, sleepless nights went to getting a car, or where were you sleeping before you bought the house?
Exactly.
None of that stuff is shown. It's only boom, house, boom, car, boom, another set of keys, and it's like that's all people see. So it's kind of like a highlight of only the good stuff and not so much the real, and that kind of sucks because, you know, it doesn't put things into real perspective as it should. How do you handle the downtime with no musics, no music and show? Like, what do you do in between?
No music and shows. Well, right now we're in that position of practicing and trying to get ready for shows. So that's really what's going on right now.
Okay.
Most definitely. And like in the meantime, we do have like music videos ready that we're about to shoot, and so we're getting ready for that stuff.
Okay.
Merchandise. T-shirts, hoodies, hats, beanies. We're getting other stuff ready for you guys, you know, and
yeah. So it's a lot of getting ready and planning and execution in between, you know, everything else.
Exactly.
That makes perfect sense. How do you measure success beyond numbers, streams, or plaques? Like, what do you deem successful?
So everybody has a different answer for that.
Right.
Me personally, if I accomplish something personally for I have to, how should I put this? If I'm doing it for me and I'm satisfied with it, I'm good. I'm good with that.
So
you know,
successful basically.
I'm successful in a way of, did I change that person's perspective in life? Did I make him, instead of negative, positive? That's my success.
Right.
For sure. Because I've lost friends to suicide. I've lost friends to, just, now that I've lost friends to suicide, it just shows me that, man, we're not all good.
Right.
And we're not always 100%.
Right.
And the fact that if I could change somebody's life through my song or my lyrics or my words, I've accomplished something.
Right.
That's it.
I feel that.
If
that's a good measurement of success to me.
To me, fuck the money.
Right.
Fuck the fame. By this point, if I turned your life around through our music, I've succeeded.
Right.
And like, if you were feeling suicidal yesterday, you listen to our music today, and you've changed your life around because of that, I'm good.
That's really incredible, man. Like, 'cause not a lot of people view success that way. We have people number chasing. We have people money chasing, fame chasing. It's not so much about the impact to other people as much as it is about the impact to themselves. They want to change their lives, which it's okay to change your life. It's okay to want better for yourself. But if in the process of trying to gain better for yourself, you are ruining other people's lives, that's not really, that's not a good exchange.
Exactly.
I have another question. Do you ever have a fear of being misunderstood through your work? Like,
all the time, man. All the time. So basically, I've been misunderstood my whole life. So it's nothing new to me. So I've been misunderstood, and even with like the rock stuff now, people think, oh, he's transitioning to rock because he can't make it as a rapper. No, I've always wanted to do this shit. I've always wanted to express this other side of me that I haven't been able to express in my early 20s or throughout my 20s. I'm 31 now. And I'm finally taking off with the rock stuff. For some other people, it was easier, but my journey was like harder, longer. Whatever reason, it's out now. I accomplished what I needed to do. So, being misunderstood, it's even me talking about emotions and stuff. It's just one of those things that I'm gonna be misunderstood for sure by somebody that's rocking with me or by somebody who's not rocking with me. I'm gonna be misunderstood by somebody.
Comes with the territory.
It comes with the territory.
That makes a lot of sense. Yeah. Now, if somebody listening to you right now who's never heard of Terms of Use and they wanted to go listen, what is one song you would tell them to definitely pay attention to?
So we have a song called Hourglass. We dropped it as a single last year. We've had a few band member or transition changes with our personnel lately with the band. But regardless of the fact, that song, I'm telling you right now, it's going to change some lives.
Okay.
That song, I haven't filmed the video for yet, but I have a clear vision of what I want to do for that video. And it's going to move mountains. It's going to change lives.
Right.
So I cannot wait for that video to happen, for it to change lives, and it's just gonna move so many people with their life, whether they're whatever background they're coming from, religious or not religious, they're gonna move with that song.
Absolutely.
So I never want to be like, hey, I'm a whatever religious or non-religious. I want to reach out to everybody in every aspect of life, because we all grew up different. Buddhists, Muslim, Christian, whatever it is, we grew up differently. So I want to reach everybody.
Makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. I know you recently transitioned from hip-hop and rap into nu metal. Can you tell me how you feel about the hip-hop scene?
So yeah, I started this journey when I was 13. I recorded my first rap song when I was 13, and I kind of went cold turkey for a long time until I was 20. That's when I really like kicked into gear, my rap career again, and everything took off. Just the local Dallas, I'm talking from my experience, the local Dallas community has let me down, for sure.
How so?
In a sense of, I look out for them, but they don't so much look out for me. And it's just how should I say this? People in general are grimy, but when it comes to rappers, it's just, one of those stereotypes of them, but it's like, I wouldn't say every rapper. So I'd say like 80% of them, you know, hip hop and rap, it's just, they're just in it for themselves. They're in it for their own image. They're in it for their personal gain. You know, I put them on a show, they won't put me on a show. They'll be like, hey, like and share my video, but they won't do the same for me. Or they'll be like, when in my early 20s, I was on Twitter more actively. So on Instagram, Twitter, they'd follow you, you'd follow back, but then they'd unfollow you right away.
Yeah, that's a bit childish.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. It's just childish. The way it's I've kind of seen it in a bad light. I'm just like, you rappers out here are just in it for yourselves. So in that sense, it kind of made me put a bad taste in my mouth. And so that kind of made me like, I'm over these rappers around here, you know, and it's, you know, like the song Welcome to the Jungle by Guns N' Roses. It's exactly what's going on right now. Concrete jungle out here in Dallas.
So, you know, that kind of made you like feel like it makes more sense to slowly move away from that scene into somewhere you feel more welcomed.
In a sense of, I've always liked rock music. So this is something I've always wanted to do. Not just like hey, let's do this today.
Yeah, I suppose, but that made the transition fully easier for you, is what I was trying to say.
So, with this new sound and how much money we're, you know, putting into this, like this is it, you know. And I'm still gonna drop stuff under Navaguchi, like my rap stuff, like here and there. But the full investment now is with the band.
Got you.
So we want to do full tours and full shows with the live instruments and everything.
That makes sense. And that's something I feel like, you know, we do need much more of in today's age. Like, we need to bring live music back, because there's a lot of track outs and stuff like that. I'm personally guilty of that too, but live music has to find its way back into the entertainment scene. There is something else you do, or even when we met, you basically even... I believe 90, if not 100% of your videos basically has a story, like a movie-like production to it. Can you dig more into that and tell me more about it? Like, what inspires that? Like, what's the process like for you? Like, what all do you have to do to make that happen?
So that stuff came like parallel with each other. Like, as I started my acting career when I was 25, I'm 31 now. So when I was 25, I met a guy in Deep Ellum, and he kind of put me on some short films and stuff. So I got deeper into the local acting community or film community in Dallas, or North Texas, I should say. But at that point, you know, I had no kid, you know, I had lesser responsibilities. So I was like, go with the acting community.
Right.
So I did like a project almost every month. So it was just like, you know, just straight to it, run and gun type stuff. But now that I'm older, you know, now I have a kid, and things slow down a little bit. So I'll take maybe one role per year, 1 or 2 roles per year, you know, and I'll go to their premiere and their, you know, premiere and the red carpet premieres and stuff like that.
Right.
So with that being said, at that time I was making music videos still. So I like grabbed people from the acting community.
Right.
I made casting calls, you know, I hired models, you know, I got stuff from every little thing, you know, I got my friends involved into my videos. And, you know, to do that kind of stuff, you have to have money. To do music, to do art in general, you have to have money. You have to have a budget. So what I did was, you know, we all have to go to work. So I went to work and I just saved money. So I saved money over a time period of 2 to 3 to 6 months, and hey, I have the money ready, let's get everything else ready. So it's just a matter of preparation of what I want to do with scripts, with the actors, with the locations. I'd even like drive to the location to see how it's going to look before I even film there, because a lot could change within like a month or 2 or 3 or 6 months. You could think, hey, this location looks like this. And then you go to the location, and now there's bushes and trees covering what you needed to do.
Right.
So now comes film day, and now you're screwed because you didn't check it out like 2 weeks before.
Right.
Or hey, I think I'm gonna film here, but you didn't check it out for like 6 months, and now it's all muddy.
Right.
Or hey, you know, I want to film at this location, and now they've changed it. Now it's been remodeled.
Right.
So
scoping out basically and lots of preparation.
lots of preparation to this
Before
stuff.
anything gets as successful as it does. You've always also had like a talent of bringing so many people together. Like your video shoots usually have minimum 50 people at a time. Like, how do you manage that? Because there's so many. It's hard to get 2 people in a room. How do you do 50? Like,
so it's just like a wedding. Your wedding is a big day, right? So I view my music video like a big day. If you invite 20 people, you want 20 people to show up, you're going to invite 40 people because half of the people are going to cancel. You already know that's a given. Like, sometimes half the people don't show up to work. Right. So it's always like, oh, you know, something happened with my car, or it's a medical emergency, or my kid, or something's going to come up. It's just the way it is. So you always want to overbook these things. You want 100 people to show up, you better invite 200 people. You know, you better like give them a reason to come. And you know, my Bad Out of Hell video that came out 2021, 22, you know, it was based off of the movie From Dusk Till Dawn. So basically that gave some people, hey, I love movies. I love that movie in particular. And he's making a music video based off of that movie. That makes me want to schedule off of work. That makes me want to drop everything that I do and show up to Navaguchi's music video.
Right.
You have to have that catcher for people to be like, hey, I really want to go to this.
Something that basically connects back to the audience.
Exactly.
That's clever. That's really clever. I mean, a lot of people in different ways try to do that, but they always either miss the mark or it just doesn't work out. So that's quite smart. You know, if you can consciously think of it and make it happen in that way, trying to give people a connection and then ensuring and checking up on them up until the day. So that's clever.
Yeah, I've even had other people say, hey, Eric or Navaguchi, could you direct my next video? Could you help out with my next video? I need you to be my second pair of eyes for this video. I've been offered that, but you know, that comes in their budget, in their pocket. You know, it's not going to come from my pocket because I invest into myself, you know, because, you know, it's my video. I'm going to invest into it.
It makes sense.
So if these guys want that extra oomph or that extra production, that extra, you want the models, you want the guns, that's going to be out of their pocket.
That makes sense.
So with that being said, I'm down to do it. It's just whenever they're ready to do it, I'll be there.
Makes sense. So I'm curious, do you believe in God and why?
Yes, I do believe in God. So I grew up Buddhist. I transitioned to Christianity probably like when I was 12. My mom actually took me to, you know, I'm from Laos, or I should say my ethnicity is Laotian. We're right next to Vietnam and Thailand and everything. We're majority Buddhist, you know, over there, but over here, we actually had a Laotian church, Christianity church, I should say, and my mom took me as a kid. And so it wasn't until my early 20s I got back into church. I was in church, you know, middle school, high school, but then I fell off. In my early 20s, I went back to church and I got closer to God. I say the closest I've ever been. I got baptized and everything, and we're super close. And then I kind of drifted away a little bit.
Gotcha.
I want to find my way back eventually.
Makes sense. Do you think that Christianity and Buddhism has similarities, or are they completely different things? Because I don't know a lot about Buddhism. Like, you know, so you are probably the very first Buddhist I've ever had an actual conversation with, or you were, I should say. Like, I've always wanted to know, because I've spoken to a lot of Muslims before, and I've always compared, you know, the similarities, because I'm working on a theory of like the universal body itself and how the beliefs got fractured. So you might be the closest answer I would get. Like, is Christianity and Buddhism similar, or is it very different?
At a surface level, so I grew up in Buddhism, and I was like cut off at a very early age, right before I turned 12. From the experiences I've had, and from the philosophy, and from what I've gotten from it, it's like, you know, kind of like, you do good, receive good.
Mm-hmm.
To whereas Christianity, it's not just that. Christianity is believing in Jesus, and it makes you a good person,
Mm-hmm.
but it doesn't get you into heaven. You have to believe in Jesus wholeheartedly. And when it comes to that, when you become one with Christ, you become a good person.
Right.
And so with that, you do enter the gates of heaven. Now, Buddhism, it's more of like nirvana and like a spiritual thing, and it's like I don't know too much about Buddhism to elaborate more on that.
Gotcha.
But
that makes sense.
In a Christian aspect, I grew up more in Christianity
Then Buddhism
as a whole, then Buddhism.
makes sense. Makes sense. I've always just been intrigued. It is something I do need to make some research into, and hopefully I get some enlightenment with that. Not because I'm trying to make any changes, but I'm usually a naturally curious person. I always want to know just to know, if that makes sense. I have a different question, not exactly the same depending on how you look at it, but what do you want out of life? Like, what are you trying to get out of it? Is it like a riches, being comfortable, family? Like, what do you want out of it?
So I've heard from bigger famous people, like through interviews I've seen on YouTube or whatever. Fame is not always a good thing. Fame can also come with bad territory. It can jeopardize your personal life. It could jeopardize your children. There's a lot of bad and cons to fame. It's not just always everything's perfect. Not always. So to me, as long as I have a daughter now, she's 2.5. As long as she's good, I'm good.
Makes sense.
And my other family too, my sister, my niece, and everything, my nephew.
Right.
As long as if I do become famous, famous people take the hardest hit. They take the hardest hit of them all. Your life is no longer what it used to be. You're now more vulnerable to the world. Your personal life and privacy is now gone. All of those stuff is just for the whole world to see now. So in a sense of if I'm more okay financially than famous, I'm good.
Right.
I have a house. I could pay my bills. I could send my daughter to certain academies or certain special programs like that. That if I have that, I'm good.
Right.
Fuck the fame.
Right. I mean, it's always I feel like a lot of us, that's really what we're looking for. We're just looking for a balanced life. For the most part.
But there's different tiers to fame, right?
Absolutely.
There's like, okay, if I walked into a mall, nobody would care. But if Eminem walked into a mall, he'd have a whole mob chase him and let me have an autograph, let me have a picture, let me have give me my attention. Versus somebody who's at a lower tier of fame, like Yellow Wolf, right? He's famous, but not as famous as Eminem. I feel like Eminem, Jay-Z, Lil Wayne, that's the highest you can get. Or J. Cole or whoever, those guys. Versus like, a smaller tier than them. I want to get famous if I'm going to make the revenue, if I'm going to make the money for that.
Right.
If it's just famous just to be famous, then I don't want it.
Yeah, that is silly. You know, I don't think anyone would want that. Because if you're too famous to hold a regular job, but you're not famous enough to make good money,
exactly,
that's a waste.
It's such a waste.
So everybody, you just kind of have to find your middle ground. But yeah, that's a decent thing to want out of life, and I'm right there with you, man. Like, if I can make good use of the fame, then I want it. But if it's just there to be there, that is kind of very, very pointless. All right, Navaguchi, I really, really appreciate you coming in, sitting here and talking with me on Oracle Unveiled. I can't wait to, hear more from you and what you got coming for us in the future. But thank you.
I appreciate you, brother.
Of course.
Yeah.